Right now, while you are watching this screen, something massive is happening in the dark. Every time you type a prompt into an AI, generate an image, or stream a video, a physical chain reaction occurs. It doesn't happen in the cloud. It happens on Earth, in windowless, heavily guarded fortresses hidden in plain sight. But as our collective use of artificial intelligence explodes, these structures are pushing the limits of our physical reality. They are swallowing millions of gallons of local water, artificially warming entire towns, and quietly building private fossil-fueled power grids under the cover of night. Every piece of software requires a physical anchor. Tonight, we are mapping the geography of the modern cloud and exploring the silent friction building between global networks and the local communities housing them. Tonight we go inside 5 eerie tech megastructures powering AI, starting with a quiet European town trapped in a mechanical heatwave. Just 20 miles west of London lies the town of Slough. To the untrained eye, it's a typical English suburb, but it also houses the largest cluster of data centers in Europe, home to over 30 windowless tech fortresses. And local residents are starting to feel it. Because these servers run around the clock, they require industrial cooling systems that constantly blast torrents of scorching air out of their exhaust vents. In a phenomenon known as the urban heat island effect, these clusters trap heat right at the street level. In areas of heavy concentration, temperatures can spike by several degrees. When summer heat waves roll through, the neighborhood turns into an artificial oven. But it's not just the temperature, it's the psychological toll of the sound. The local resident council received a complaint that said, "It's a constant, low-frequency drone that vibrates through the walls. You can't open your windows at night to cool down because the noise is deafening. But if you keep them closed, the house traps the heat. It feels like living next to a jet engine that never takes off." For tech companies, Slough is a masterclass in digital infrastructure. For the people living on the other side of the fence, it's an ongoing experiment in what happens when the digital world meets a physical neighborhood. To find the next megastructure, we fly across the Atlantic to the American Midwest. In New Carlisle, Indiana, tech giants are executing what's known as a hyperscale footprint, dropping an $11 billion infrastructure hub directly onto rural farmland. It's called Project Rainier. From a business standpoint, it is a monument to modern logistics. But to keep 500,000 custom AI processing chips from melting, the facility requires a resource more valuable than data. They require clean groundwater. Data centers of this scale can consume up to 5 million gallons of water every single day, enough to fill nearly 8 Olympic-sized swimming pools every 24 hours. In rural communities, that water is pulled directly from underground aquifers, and that has put local agricultural families on high alert. A Midwest Water Coalition representative said, "We aren't against technology, but our livelihoods depend on the water table. If these mega facilities draw down the aquifer faster than it can naturally replenish, our household wells go dry and our crops fail. You can't grow food with artificial intelligence." The tech sector argues these hubs bring massive tax revenue and jobs to rural counties. The farmers argue they are trading long-term natural security for short-term tech expansion. Two completely different versions of the American dream, colliding over water lines. Just a few hours east, the state of Ohio has become the absolute epicenter of the global AI boom, anchored by a region known as the Columbus Cluster. Tech giants have flooded the area, turning quiet suburbs into massive, interconnected server hubs. But the infrastructure strain has grown so severe that local governments are beginning to push back. The rapid consumption of electricity and water has caused panic among local residents. In response, municipal leaders have done something highly unusual. The New Albany Plan Commission advanced a strict one-year moratorium to halt new data center developments while they review zoning laws and natural resource impacts. Other neighboring towns are attempting to pass outright bans. And the ripple effect goes deeper than water. To power these grids, energy providers are drastically ramping up natural gas production, driving an explosion of hydraulic fracking, a process that blasts millions of gallons of chemical-laced water deep underground to shatter rock and release fossil fuels across Ohio's rural areas and state parks. Lawmakers defending the expansion state that this infrastructure is vital for keeping Ohio at the forefront of the global economy. But as local moratoriums prove, the line between economic progress and resource depletion is becoming incredibly thin. This brings us to the most legally contested megastructure on our list, Colossus II, located right on the border of Memphis, Tennessee, and South Haven, Mississippi. This facility trains some of the most powerful frontier AI models in existence, but when it went online, the local municipal power grid simply didn't have the bandwidth to feed it. So the operators bypassed the grid entirely. They installed dozens of massive temporary methane gas turbines to build a private, unpermitted power plant. The backlash was immediate. The NAACP and local environmental groups slapped the facility with a massive federal lawsuit under the Clean Air Act, alleging the turbines are spewing toxic nitrogen oxides and formaldehyde directly into historically vulnerable Black communities. But what happened next shocked the legal world. The United States Department of Justice intervened in the lawsuit, moving to dismiss the citizens' claims. The federal government explicitly argued that shutting down the power supply to this specific AI supercomputer would directly threaten American national security and military capabilities. The U.S. Department of Defense Chief Digital and AI Officer stated, "Data center capacity must be recognized not merely as commercial infrastructure, but as a long-term strategic tool vital to maintaining our technological advantage against adversaries." This is no longer a localized corporate dispute. It is a historic legal showdown. On one side stands a community fighting for the air they breathe. On the other stands the federal government, arguing that global AI dominance is a matter of national survival. And both sides believe they are completely in the right. Which brings us to number 1, Project Kilby, hidden deep within the barren Permian Basin of West Texas. This is the ultimate evolution of the AI megastructure. Tech giants have realized that public grids cannot sustain the future of artificial intelligence. Local communities are fighting back, and natural resources are drying up. So, the industry is moving completely off the grid. Project Kilby is a massive, self-sustaining tech oasis. It doesn't rely on the public Texas energy grid. Instead, it operates its own private natural gas turbines and dedicated micronuclear reactors built directly inside the compound walls. It is entirely autonomous. It has no neighbors to complain about the noise, no local aquifers to deplete, and fewer regulatory eyes watching its emissions. This is where the trail ends. A private corporate fortress humming silently in the desert, powering a virtual reality that requires massive amounts of real-world energy. Tech visionaries look at this and see the pinnacle of human innovation, the clean, isolated cradle of our digital future. Critics look at it and see the ultimate corporate monopoly, a complete withdrawal from public accountability and environmental oversight. But regardless of how you view it, the windowless blocks will keep humming, and the physical world will keep changing. If you want to support this channel so we can keep uncovering these hidden worlds, consider taking a piece of the night home with you. Our official collection is available now at the first link below. And if you're a creator, an entrepreneur, or a business owner, and you appreciate this specific eye for detail, let's work together. At the second link, you can grab our free Business Audit Checklist. Or you can book a personalized business audit with us, and we also have videography available in select areas. Everything you need is in the description. Sleep well.